Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Ice and Fire Amateur Division Valorant Tournament. My name is Ryan Schneen. Today I am joined by Rome, and we are going to be your casters for this first best of three series. How is everybody doing today, Rome? How are you doing this afternoon? What's going on?
Happy to be here with you, Ryan. Really looking forward to the matchups that we've got today. On board with you here for the first best of three, and excited to see how these two teams match up.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, folks, looks like on the schedule today we are starting with three very fun maps, one of which is absolutely my favorite. First one is going to be Haven. That one is going to be picked by Avonius. Bind is going to be played second. That one is picked by Deviant. And Breeze is going to be our deciding map for today. Rome, what do you think of these three map choices?
Yeah, this is fun. So Haven was Avonius's choice, Bind was Deviant's choice, Breeze was picked by Icy Flames, your tournament organizer. This will be interesting. Avonius clearly feels confident about their Haven play. We'll see how they actually end up faring against this Deviant squad. Interesting thing about Avonius, this is a group of kids in a middle and high school who recently met at the end of 2020, and they actually are former Minecraft professionals who competed in the Sky Wars competitive league. And they switched to Valorant at the end of 2020, and they have slowly been ranking up. This is actually their first tournament together. I'm excited to see what they can bring to the table. Might take a little while for them to get up to speed, but we'll see what they can do.
Absolutely. And it's always definitely a lot of fun seeing groups of friends playing these tournaments together because there's something about just having people and having people you're able to communicate with on a better level than just maybe one or two offs it just makes such a difference with team play. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how they're going to be doing today. Now, what do you think about this Deviant squad? And what do you have for us there?
Yeah, well, the defense squad is also interesting. So the core trio of this team is Axum Red, Squigs, and Papa Duck. And these three are actually all friends from their childhood. They met in high school, and they've pretty much been gaming ever since. They're 23 now, and have been playing, any type of game from Mario Party or Mario Kart to Valorant. And Squigs and Papa Duck also have significant CS:GO experience, so familiar with the genre of tactical shooters, which should give them an advantage. So, a reminder to the viewers out there: this is a amateur division tournament, which means the ranks that we have allowed in this tournament range from bronze 3 to plat 1, if I'm not mistaken. And these guys, they have some juice behind them. They don't have the highest of ranks, but they do have some experience in CS, whereas the Avonius team is coming from Minecraft. So we'll see if that ends up being an advantage for them. Their map pick, which will be map 2, was Bind. Obviously, the teleporters can throw a wrench, and it can become a little difficult to communicate. Make sure that everyone on the team is on the same page with the rotations and all the various different things that can happen on the map. But we'll see if that CS experience ends up being able to carry them over the victory line. And then Hi and Dusk Fenrir, those two, they joined the team. They met kind of randomly through playing games, and that will round out the squad for Deviant. So, just for those of you at home, we have a pretty even rank distribution, very similar throughout the two teams. Kled on Avonius is actually plat 1, and they are the highest ranked player in this matchup. Everyone else is sitting between silver 1 and gold 3. So we'll see if Kled actually ends up proving to be significantly better than the rest of the talent in this match. But there's only one way to find out about that, isn't that right, Ryan?
Absolutely. And you know what? Speaking of those stats, why don't we go ahead and head on over to the tail of the tape so we can actually get some information between these two teams because I want to see some of these stat changes that we have going on. Well, it looks like you were correct. It looks like we have a lot of ranks in between. Looks like we're going to be shifting anywhere between silver 2 all the way to plat 1, like you were mentioning. And it looks like we have a pretty decent Asian composition coming across the board from both teams. I like what I'm seeing on the side of Avonius. Definitely seeing two duelists out there. I do like seeing the double duelist composition. I know that has kind of been pushing out of style in favor of kind of one across the board and usually an extra controller or sometimes Sentinel, just depending on what map you're playing. But I'm definitely digging seeing that double duelist comp over there. And on the side of Deviant, it's very interesting. We only see one duelist, but we're definitely seeing a lot of controllers. Two of them coming out on top with Omen as their top pick. What do you think about that?
Well, yeah, let's see what agents they actually select on the different maps that we have here today. We all know that depending on the map, a certain agent may be more effective. For example, our one of our maps for today is going to be Bind. That'll be our second map. So it'll be interesting to see if they do indeed pick Yoru. The information that we have been given is that Hidden on Avonius likes to pick Yoru. So we'll see if that ends up being picked on both Haven and on Bind. We've seen it become a little bit more popular on Bind in the highest tier of pro play, but let's keep in mind that these players they won't have the greatest of technical skill. So truly what'll make the biggest difference is less the agent selection and more the execution and mid-round decision making that we see from these two squads.
Absolutely. So looking at the agent selection here, we're already seeing some lock-ins from on the side of Deviant, and this roster is kind of giving me some flashbacks to seeing 100 Thieves performing in the VCT series in Stage 3 recently. It looks like a very similar composition. The only change up is going to be Squigs playing Reyna, and the normal squad would be playing Sova instead. So it's very interesting seeing the composition lineup over there. And on the side of Avonius, I'm definitely
Select
seeing
your
some interesting
agent.
selections there as well. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, we will see exactly how it ends up shaking out. In terms of Avonius, they do have some interesting picks on here. Killjoy is particularly interesting because of the 3 bomb sites on Haven. Typically, you end up seeing a Cypher, and the reason that you see a Cypher most often on this map is because the Cypher's abilities, the trap wire and the cages, the camera as well, those have no range on their ability, whereas Killjoy needs to be within a certain radius of her equipment in order for it to be effective. That allows Cyphers to set up their utility on a specific site, and thus they are able to have a bit more of a global presence on this map. So I'm looking to see how much utility they can get out of the Killjoy. The rest of their composition looks fairly standard, although the Brimstone is a little bit of an interesting choice. We typically see an Astra and Omen on this map, but we'll see how it goes.
Alrighty,
Yes,
we will
this should
see
go.
indeed as we are about ready to start the first round here on Haven. And it looks like Deviant is going to be running the attacking side for this. And yeah, let's see how this goes.
Yeah, first match of the day. Hopefully it starts off with a good map. Looks like spreading out a little bit on the attack, not quite ready to commit to a side off the start of this game.
Absolutely. So it looks like we have an early Trailblazer coming out of Joshua right away, trying to get that information from a lobby. Able to get one, but isn't able to get too much out of that because it looks like they are definitely holding back and trying to play for information at this time. Not letting Avonius know too much about what is going on and or what they are planning on doing.
Yeah, and Avonius holding steady, not quite rotating yet. Not enough information for that.
Alrighty, and looks like first contact is coming out of Clutch. Tries to smoke off the site. Isn't able to get them before, but he is able to take out Axum. And here comes the lure from the side of DT. Pushing out, Joshua goes down. Looks like high Squigs. And Papa Duck is able to take 2 out. Kirby responds with the takeout of his own, but right now we are stuck in a 1v2, and he's stuck on a connector all by himself. Looks like there isn't too much he's going to be able to do. He is out of lures, out of dismisses, and overheal, so there's not much on utility side. Looks like contact comes in from Squigs. Isn't expecting Papa Duck in the back. Does take him out, and oh my gosh, and Kirby coming in with a clutch, taking round 1 in favor of Amon. What do you think about that? That was wow, that was pretty good clutch.
Well, great response out of Avonius. You notice after first contact, there was a really quick swarming of the B site from Avonius. They all quickly converged, and they were left in a disadvantageous position at the end of the attempted retake. But what ends up happening is because they all converged onto the site, they were able to get the final 2 players of Deviant weak. And in the end, that allowed for the clutch.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking at the buy from this round, it looks like we're going to be seeing a pretty traditional buy. Simon's kind of feeling to go a little bit more of the scout route, going with light shields and the scouts this round. Alrighty, Trailblazer coming out, getting some early information. Joshua, don't know where he was going with that, but okay. Able to spot out at least 2. Simon shooting out some pre-fire shots. Doesn't seem to be connecting anything at the moment. Looks like contact going all the way across the board. Looks like we are seeing a Trailblazer on the side of DBT as well, trying to get some early information, seeing how many agents are on A. Don't believe they were able to see too much, so they are going to be pushing towards the A site, trying to get as much information as possible. But I know for a fact that those players in short are hearing some stomping around the CT and B connector area. They will know that there are at least 2 players on site. Flash coming out of Joshua, at least noting one person on short, not too much further. Alrighty. And Joshua and Kirby take out the first 2 hits, immediately clutching out. Kirby with the second. Squigs takes down Joshua, but Clegg comes out and takes out the last 2 players, taking this 2-0.
And what ends up being a really effective rotation out of Avonius. Again, we see Kirby was playing A link, was a little bit close to B site. As soon as that flash revealed that there was at least one enemy in A long, quickly rotated along with another teammate to A site, and they were able to shut down the site take and go up 2 round, and now they find themselves in a bonus.
Absolutely. And obviously ZVT coming on the side right now, coming out with mostly rifles and full shields. Waiting for Pavaduck to see if he's going to purchase. Looks like it is going to be rifles and full shields coming from them as well. Trying to capitalize on this and make sure they can keep those rifles moving to the next round. Otherwise, Eriko gets reset. Simon seeing 3 isn't able to take anything out, and Fenrir takes him out with him. Jacob sending that drone down. Looks like Axum was able to push up and doesn't able to make any contact, but Clyde able to take out Squigs. Babaduck takes Clyde down once more, and here come the Seekers trying to get as much information as possible. They know that at least 2 agents are near Garage, but it looks like Hi with the flank. They don't realize that he's coming, and oh, look at that perfect lineup. There's 2, and just sneaks away before the 3rd. Joshua down to 3 health, and that was the round that Deviant needed to keep on the board and to keep that momentum rolling in their favor.
And what's key there, Ryan, is they buy up rifles after saving the round before. That flank from Hi, not only is he able to get 2 kills, but he's actually able to get out with his life as well. From there, they have a significant numbers advantage and are able to clean up. Now, on the other side, for Avonius, that's a round that they're willing to let go of. They didn't fully commit to buying, and now we have them set up here with a full buy, except for Joshua with a Spectre.
Absolutely, and definitely smart idea to keep on that Spectre without any other ability to purchase. Not going to get too much further on that.
Standing ahead.
Once again, we have that early Trailblazer coming out of Joshua. Might quite possibly detecting Hi, but not 100% positive. Looks like we are seeing a lot of contact more on the C side, pushing in towards Garage again. Clears out of that shock dart. Joshua able to take out Hi, and it looks like Avonius, or it looks like DBT, I apologize, is able to get onto the C site without any objections and is able to get the bomb down.
Here's Avonius setting up for the retake. Playing it slowly, spamming through smokes. Smart choice when you have the Phantom in hand. Can't see the bullet traces, so it's effective. Totally worth it.
Absolutely, and if you didn't see, the Seekers were sent out. Looks like Squigs is able to take one. Kirby and Joshua respond. Fenrir and Axum also respond with 2 picks of their own. Axum, doesn't see Kirby before. Fenrir takes him out, but it's a 1v1 now, and that Sky knows exactly where he's at. And oh man, Fenrir just did not check the right spot, and Joshua able to clean him up. Now going 3-1 in favor of Avonius.
Yeah, and for Joshua, he has the information on where the player is. Here's the strategy step after the line connects and has a pretty decent idea of where he's going to be. And then when the paranoia comes out, that gives a clear idea of exactly where the player is behind the boxes. Allows him to check the correct angle and win the 1v1, clutch the round.
Absolutely, absolutely. With a very good play. And also, too, it was a little odd trying to see the Seekers coming out of him from the beginning of the match. I think he was just more or less checking to make sure that there weren't any other players kind of hiding near B or A, because, well, they knew it was a full rush onto C, but I think they just wanted to be a little bit more cautious. All right, quick dart coming out, tagging up Axum. Axum's able to see. Looks like he's able to see Jacob, and Jacob is able to sneak away. Recon Bolt coming out again. Sorry, Soba drone coming out again. Joshua sitting out, Trailblazer, able to see one, but not able to see much after that. Wow, Axum just comes in, swings on Pled, takes him out, and takes it to a 4v5 right now. Looks like we're seeing a lot of pressure coming towards A. Looks like the default smokes are going out towards Heaven and CT. And Paranoia goes out, but just barely misses Joshua. Joshua able to take one with him. Pop flashes out one more time, able to take another. but Hi just comes back out with the Sheriff, takes him out. Kirby takes him, Kirby responds with the Empress and a headshot on Squigs. And now we are on a 2v3 retake, and the bomb has not gone down yet. It's like Fenrir responds with the kill onto Kirby, and right now they are just trying to figure out what exactly they are able to do. It looks like Hi is able to take that bomb out of A site, and Fenrir is just going to kind of hold the site down, trying to keep them there as long as possible in order for that rotation to happen. But it doesn't look like Hi's moving fast enough. He's trying to get onto the B site, but it looks like Simon is already moving away, sitting in BC Connect. Just not 100% positive as to where they're at. Here's the spike going down. Starts moving over towards C site connector, and it looks like Simon or Jacob is going to be running in through the A site connector, but there is a smoke right before it, so not getting too much.
One enemy remaining.
Able to see, oh man, Simon just flips him out right away. Hi goes down, and it looks like Avonius are able to take this round and go up 4-1.
And for Deviant, we're noticing that they're not committing to sites very quickly, both at the beginning of the round and once they start to commit to a site. Until the spike is planted, you can see that they are not feeling pressured to stay where they are. And when they got that pick mid, it forced Kirby to rotate off of A site and into B, which left just one defender on A. They tried to take the site, just couldn't quite find the frags, and then on the rotation, unfortunately, Hi moved pretty slowly. While the three players stayed at A for a little bit, eventually they got wise to the idea that there could be a flank, and eventually the round goes to Avonius.
Absolutely, and it looks like DBT right now is going to be running on a very mixed buy. It looks like Papa Duck's going to be taking a hero rifle in with full shields, but everybody else is going to be playing on Sheriffs and Spectres. Avonius is playing on a mostly full buy, with Kled playing on light shields.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see as the eco strengthens for Avonius if they start to bring out an op.
Early Trailblazer from Joshua, able to detect one, isn't able to capitalize on that kill. Oh wow! Axum tries to go out with those knives, isn't able to get much out of it. Goes down. At least able to take one with them. To take it down with Avonius' side. Squig responds with Kled ult and is able to take down Papa Duck with him right now. It is a 2v3. The spike is sitting in a very unfavorable position. Kled able to take out Hi, and now it's Squigs on his own, trying to somehow muster something up from this round that just went south so fast.
Yeah, and with Spike down in a 1v3 scenario, it is really going to be challenging for Squigs to really be able to make anything happen here. Here's the Owl drone come in, tries to break it, but is tagged. That's going to delay him even more, and with 30 seconds left, this is looking pretty dire for Deviant.
30 seconds left.
Absolutely, and at this point you have to be asking yourself, is it even worth trying to push in? Should it be a better idea just to take that rifle and run? I mean, there's really nothing else that he can do. It looks like we have a cross just waiting to happen. Doesn't take it in time. Sends out a recon bolt to get some information. Oh, tries to go in for it, but Joshua cleans him up with a wall bang, clearing out the round once again in favor of Avonius.
And not necessarily a bad idea to pick up a rifle and try to play for a couple frags and weaken the economy of Avonius. Unfortunately, doesn't work out, loses the rifle, but it looks like they'll be able to muster up a full buy, that being Deviant. Interesting to see. We still have not seen an operator come out on the side of Avonius. They have a solid lead. Clearly, they don't feel like they need it, and up until this point, that's proven to be correct. Now we see Deviant stacking up near A site. Let's see what happens, Ryan.
Absolutely. Looks like we're going to see some very early contact. Kirby is able to see at least two people running, and Joshua with that early Trailblazer once again able to know there are people coming. Looks like Kled's going to be smoking the site pretty early, trying to stop any and all pushes in. And it looks like they are going to stop indeed and try to get some more information. Simon playing out in mid doors area and grass, just hearing so many rotations and calling all of the other players over and letting them know, hey, you guys might want to start moving. Oh, Simon, man, just dancing around some of the other players. Squig's able to find Kirby and able to take one down, but it looks like TBT is going to be playing on side of C. Hi just running in, playing support for his team as well, making sure that nobody's flying through. Takes one shot to the head from Simon, down from C long. Simon cleans him up. And right now, we are sitting on a 3v3 retake.
enemy remaining.
Joshua comes in with 2 kills. Axum takes
One
out,
enemy remaining.
Axum takes out 1. Fenrir also fighting back, and Fenrir is able to clutch the round for DVT and keep them alive in this half.
Great save there out of Fenrir. Well, what we saw happen there was quite interesting. Simon hears them rotating through CT, and you could see that all of his teammates start to rotate as soon as he communicates that. Now, there's flanks on top of flanks that round, people coming up behind each other, and it was a little bit difficult to keep track of, but in the end, Deviant comes out on top. They take another round, and the economy for Avonius is not that strong. A frenzy and 4 Spectres with some people with heavy armor going up against mainly rifles. This will be a challenging round for Avonius. Let's see if they can do it again.
Absolutely. Looks like Jacob's recon bolt was able to tag at least 1, but not able to capitalize off of that. Joshua pushes in part 4 and is able to take out Axum and retreats back into the A site after that first pick, knowing that they are going to walk into this now with an advantage in their favor. Jacob sends an owl drone out, able to see at least 1, not able to see much more after that. And here comes Joshua with the Seekers, trying to get some information. Knows there's at least 1 in a lobby, isn't able to get too much more information off of that, because Hi was able to destroy the Seekers. And once again, we see DVT kind of stalling out in mid, trying to figure out where exactly they're able to go.
Yeah, and great job out of Avonius to be able to get a pick and not get traded out, especially when you're on the defender side, is so huge. Now they have the numbers advantage, and they're starting to get wise to the C side hit, and they're rotating.
Absolutely. It looks like we see an Empress and a Seekers going out on the side of DVT. DVT are able to get into C site. Looks like Hi is going to be staying back in C long. Does swing out. Pop Duck able to take out 1, takes out 2 with that scout, really capitalizing off of it. And Hi also responds with a pick of his own. Kirby takes out Pop Duck, and suddenly we're on 2v3. Oh, Hi sends up that ult, doesn't get much off of it. Squig's able to respond and take out Clegg. But unfortunately, Squiggs is able to respond once again, takes down Kirby, and suddenly DVT is starting to swing in their favor a little bit.
Yeah, and that's huge for momentum. The other thing to keep in mind is that last round was not a full save out of Avonius, so they don't even go into this round with full rifles and full shield. They still have 2 players as currently constituted on the Spectre.
I need this.
Much better gun advantage for Deviant right now, outside of Hi, who's finally gotten his hands on a rifle. We'll see how this round shakes out, but the momentum is starting to swing in favor of Deviant.
Absolutely. Alrighty, we're seeing a lot of early play going towards mid grass, potentially pushing into B. Looks like we're seeing Axum trying to push into garage, getting as much info as possible. Not able to see anybody, does get tagged out by the owl drone, and is able to safely get out. Kled trying to block off any access into the B site, but it looks like we are seeing 2 pushing in. There comes Smoke down, and Squigs is able to take down Kled to start the round out. Joshua sitting in a couple of lines. Axum able to take the 2, Squigs able to take another. Simon cleans out Squigs, and we're on 2v4. Okay, Simon just coming in saying, nope, you're not taking this round. Oh my gosh, Simon with 3. Oh, Hi able to finally take him down after taking 3 of their own with him. And right now it is a 1v2. Kirby not looking too great. He does still have the Empress and his abilities for dismiss and his heal, but not too much else after that. No more lures. And Trailblazer's still alive, able to come out, but looks like Kirby is able to take it out with him. Man, these flashes just don't seem to stop coming. Holy cow. Kirby wishes into sight, but does not know that Hi is sitting on the box, and DVT takes another round.
Yeah, and that's a classic situation of just not clearing your angles. That is going to happen to you if you don't take the time to properly clear them. Obviously, a lot of utility to deal with there in that situation, but still, that close left corner needs to be cleared. On the other side of things, as they enter the site, quite the play out of Axum Red jumping off of the top to help Squigs in his fight in C connector. They're not able to take out Simon before he gets 2 or 3 frags there, but a key trade to be able to get the numbers in their favor, and they take another round.
Absolutely. Axum's kind of interesting purchase here with the operator. Obviously, Jett is probably one of the best agents to opt on, but are they going to be able to capitalize on that? And we also see the Blaze coming out on the side of Axum, but not able to connect anything. Looks like Squigs is able to take out Jacob, but Simon responds, takes out Axum. And it looks like Fenrir is able to take out one of his own. Trailblazer not able to get anything off of that. Fenrir takes out Joshua, and suddenly we're in a 2v4 hold on site against DVT. And I'm not sure how much more Avonius has on this map.
Yeah, and you see Joshua getting a little too overzealous, getting right in onto site, not waiting for his team to retake.
Absolutely, high coming in right through the B site, taking out one player. Curvy is able to take out high, and now is stuck on his own in garage 1v3 and making a smart play and trying to book it out of there, save that rifle in the next round because Rico's not looking too great right now.
And at this point, despite the round win for Deviant, I have to say, questionable decision to buy the op, put it in the hands of their jet, in the hands of Axum Red, who then flies onto C site with Blade Storm out, tries to get a frag and gets immediately picked. They very nearly gave away the op right when they decided to purchase it, and an offensive op is not a particularly normal buy. We see some teams pull it out from here and there, but typically you see the defenders do it. They try to use that to hold angles and make it a little difficult for the attacking team to move up long sight lines. Luckily, they still have it in hand, and they've managed to bring it back. They were down 4 rounds at one point, and they're all tied up now.
Absolutely. And we're once again seeing that the operator does go back to Axum. Let's see if he is able to capitalize on it. $4,700 for a gun is really pricey for a team, so better try to get as many picks off that thing as possible. And they know that the operator is close near a lobby, so they are going to play it a bit safer. Joshua is not going to try and push up at all right now. Looks like the Owl Drone goes out, tries to tag Squigs, but isn't able to. They know that he is there, but they do not know where the rest of his teammates are. Joshua, looks like the Trailblazer is going to find Joshua sitting in the corner, not able to get too much. Paranoia comes out, and Joshua's still there. And as I say that, Papa Duck just comes in and says, "Nope, you're leaving."
Great coordination after the Secret got him stunned. The Paranoia came in and was able to blind him as well.
Spike down.
Absolutely. Looks like Jacob sends out the Hunter's Fury and is able to take out the Planter. And suddenly this isn't looking so impossible. Here comes the oh my word, Molly from Brim just doing some serious damage over to Fenrir right now. And that, oh man, that defender sided Killjoy ult is something special. Left. And unfortunately, since the attackers don't have a Sova, they don't have any way to counter that ult. Looks like they're going to be forced to go into the C-site, and guess what? Avonius is waiting for them. Cud takes out one, but Squigs is able to respond back, and Simon says, "You're not leaving." Able to take him out. Looks like Axum is going to be planting on C-site, and it is a 2v2 hold. We still have that operator. I'm surprised they haven't dropped that yet in favor of a Phantom or a Vandal. Looks like they've got a perfect line of sight going, just a little too far over. Tries to swing and misses. And right now it's a 2v2 hold. I'm not sure how much longer.
Player standing.
Axum tries pushing forward with the operator, but is not able to succeed. Looks like Fenrir's on his own, takes out one, but Jacob is able to clean out Fenrir. And Avonius takes their first round in 4 rounds.
You failed.
And great job taking another round on the board here for Avonius. They put themselves in the position to go into the next half up 7-5, which is much better than things were looking a couple rounds ago as Deviant was storming back. I will note that when Deviant are holding for a retake, they have 2 players watching the same angle from the same position. In a 2v2 situation, you need to spread your resources out a little bit, set up a crossfire, have the player that has the operator in hands playing on C long. There needs to be a little bit more diversity in the way they try to hold the site. They know Avonius are coming, and they aren't fully prepared for it.
Absolutely, and once again, we're seeing a lot of aggression coming out of DVT towards a lobby, trying to get as much information, but they've got to know that Joshua is sitting there and is going to use his Trailblazer soon. He's been using it the past entire half, and still have not found a way to counter that at all.
And another slow play out of Deviant was slowly creeping up onto A site. Contact about to go down.
Oh, Kirby trying to capitalize on that Odin spam, but Fenrir is able to take him out. That is going to call the entire team to rotate on over to the A site. And wow, it looks like Axum is just being set up perfectly for a flank right now. Looks like Kled is able to take out one. Squid's response. Simon takes out another. And here comes the ult, able to figure out exactly where they're at. Axum able to just come behind and wipe Jacob off the board. And right now, Simon is on his own. Spike has not gone down yet, surprisingly. They've had site control for quite a while and haven't gotten it down. But as I say that, Fenrir is able to start planting the Spike. Planted in a very default position. And it looks like Simon knows where one is. Doesn't quite know exactly where the other. And it's a 1v2, trying his best, but Paranoia comes out. Here come the spams. Not able to get too much. They are not giving him any sight line. Drops down onto site, takes a bit of damage as he drops. And unfortunately, DVT is able to capture the round and tie the half at 6-6.
An A site on Haven is always difficult to retake for the defenders. But the thing that you have to keep in mind is you just need to clear little spaces one at a time. And what we've continued to see from players on both sides is they continue to overexpose themselves to multiple angles. It's leading them to die earlier than they need to, and it's made for some sloppy site hits and for some sloppy holds as well. We'll see what the second half brings. These teams are tied 6-6. So far, it's been quite the even matchup. These Minecraft players are showing what they can do.
Absolutely. And like you were saying, as we go into the second half of this main game, again, score is tied 6-6. I apologize. And it looks like Avonius is going to be putting a lot of pressure near the CB site and a lot of it in the garage. This is what, 3 players rushing the garage. Trailblazer is able to see them, but doesn't look like that's going to deter him. Simon swinging in with the jumping right click. Squids responds and is able to take him out, but man, that's got to feel terrible getting jumping right clicks in there.
It always does.
Alright, it looks like Jacob is going to go to the plant. Squig's running in before those smokes went down, trying to get some. Fenrir is able to see Joshua. Axum takes out Kled. Kirby is able to capitalize on that frenzy and takes out 2. And suddenly it's a 1v2. Fenrir sitting in the back by himself, takes one out, and able to take out Kirby and secure the round. DVT is up now, 7-6.
Clutch.
And Fenrir right now is absolutely carrying Avonius. He's sitting at 16-7, and he is one of the additions to this team, separate from the 3 friends who are kind of constitute the core of this team. What's interesting right there is Fenrir has a good idea to throw his paranoia on to see sight for the retake, but Squigs, for some reason, swung out a little bit before that, ends up getting killed. Doesn't matter for Fenrir, ends up being able to get the clutch, and they go into this next round. Deviant does with Spectres and full armor, looking to get this anti-eco going.
Absolutely, and once again, we're seeing a lot of pressure going towards the mid area, possibly garage. Looks like the first flash is able to get some information, same with the Trailblazer. Not able to see much, but is able to see something. Squiggs looks like he's holding out what potentially appears to be a blind of some sort, waiting for that push. Not able to get much. Looks like there is a recon dart sent up. Once again, ain't getting anything. And suddenly, DVT is just kind of stopped Avonius in their tracks in mid, and looks like they're having to rotate on over to the A site. Kirby taking some serious space here. Axum, not 100% positive if he knows they're there or not. Swings out, finds Kirby, and is able to take him out. Completely just says goodbye to the A site and lets them take over just in case there are any other players there.
And they're able to get the spike down here, but the gun advantage for Deviant, this retake should be fairly simple.
Absolutely, and it looks like Kled was found by the tripwire and was taken out through spam through heaven. Paranoia goes out. It looks like Axum is able to capitalize. Jacob able to take one out, but Axum is able to take Jacob out. And right now, it's a 4v1. All he's got is a sheriff. I don't see much going on from here, especially when the friends are staring him down, but he's able to take him out. And Axum comes in and cleans everything out with the ace for the round.
And just like that, we've got our first ace of the day. How about that? Axum Red on the Jet. Safe to say that was one of his better rounds of the map, yeah?
Absolutely, and it's kind of nice to see that Jet coming online. And usually, when you see people playing Jet like this, they try to get a little flashy, push out for kills, and just kind of go all around crazy. But it's not what we've been seeing from Maxim, at least not in the first half, whiffing a lot of his operator shots. So kind of nice to see him kind of turning on now in the second half and going, okay, here we go. I'm gonna take that duelist role now.
Yeah, a little bit of a challenging attacking half for him, but we'll see if he turns it around.
Fenrir trying to take some serious space up here, is going to be detected by the recon bolt and is going to shrouded step away and stay in the backside, try to stay as safe as possible. Able to take out one, but Kirby and Jacob able to capitalize. Duck just walks onto site, takes out Jacob, but Simon is able to respond and takes him out. Axum is sitting in the back now with those knives, getting detected by the turret, whiffs all the knives. Kirby takes him out, and suddenly it's high in a 1v3. And Joshua cleans out the round once again in favor of Avonius for the first round of this half.
Yeah, and similar to what we saw at the beginning of this half, not great coordination out of Deviant on these retakes.
Absolutely. Sometimes these they seem to be kind of pushing in without really any plans and or any idea where they want kind of push, which you do unfortunately see a lot of in this kind of ranks.
Time to hunt.
Alrighty, and again, Joshua sending out the Trailblazers with early information, able to find out that one is there. Papa Duck sending some spam to the door. Not able to get too much off of that. Looks like getting out a little bit of damage, but not too much. Seekers coming out, trying to get as much information as possible. Able to see that there are at least a few players in Garage, but nothing past that. And it looks like Fenrir just wants to block any and all access into C-site, but unfortunately they do swing into the cubby on there, and right now it looks like Simon is trying to take out Hi on the B-site.
Little song and dance they're doing here. They keep peeking this angle. Eventually one of them is going to get punished for it. Meanwhile, teammates on Avonius are slowly rotating over towards A-site, backing off of that mid-control.
Looks like Joshua was able to successfully get out of the cubby, but Popped Up is trying to go in for that kill. Tries to spam and is successful and able to take him out. But is he going to be able to get out of that side? Fenrir does have him in his crosshairs. Yep, and it looks like he is able to make it out successfully. Axum able to take out one, tries to take out the other, but Simon does clean it back up. And looks like they were able to get the plant down, and suddenly it's a 3v4.
And they're setting up for this post plant, trying to make sure that they can deny Deviant this defusal. Mentioned earlier, this site can be a little difficult to retake, but the paranoia is a good first step as Deviant make their way onto site.
Cage triggered.
Absolutely. There comes the flash out. Wow. Joshua able to take one, Kirby able to take out the other, and able to clean out Hi as well.
An excellent hold there from Avonius. They really set up a nice trap where they allowed them to get onto site, and as soon as they got close to the spike and wanted to start defusing it, the trap was sprung and they were able to end the retake right there in its tracks. Looks like we've got a player who disconnected, maybe taking a tactical timeout here. The match timer has paused, but so far, Ryan, these two teams have been quite evenly matched. Isn't that fair to say?
Absolutely, yeah. We are seeing a lot of even play coming out of these two teams, and it's very interesting. Even looking at the scoreboard too, we're seeing a lot of similarity coming out of these two teams, and it does look like we are actually going to a tech pause. It looks like there are thunderstorms in Cled's area, and unfortunately he has disconnected from the server. So right now it is a waiting game. We will hopefully get back to the match soon, but until then, it's gotta wait it out.
Yeah, and we got plenty of good stuff to talk about here, Ryan. I think we'll be just fine. Interestingly enough, when we started this match, I highlighted Cled on Avonius, the highest ranked player in this lobby at Plat 1. Now, this just goes to show just how deceiving sometimes small differences in ranks can be. I know a lot of people, especially in deathmatch chats, really like to flex their rank, but this Plat 1 player is struggling against players that are in gold 1, 2, and 3, and silver as well. See if he's able to turn it around in this map once we get the action back going, or if he'll be able to turn up on a different map later in this day. These Minecraft kids are putting up quite the fight, though. This is very interesting. Deviant has looked really put together at times, but Avonius has been able to answer every single one of their runs.
Absolutely, absolutely. That is for sure. And I know there have been a lot of people saying that the rank system isn't always the best way to exactly show your skill level. Um, there have definitely been discrepancies, a lot of players, and sometimes they don't necessarily play at that skill level, or that rank really just does not mean anything. Guess what? You can definitely be a lower ranked player and still trash on other higher ranked players sometimes. Depends on the day.
Yeah, and while we're sitting here waiting, let's give a shout out to these guys on Avonius. These guys are, between 13 and 17, fairly young kids. This is their first tournament together, and they're playing with a good degree of poise. They have met some challenges, but they have also really had some very convincing rounds here. They have not been playing Valorant for that long, but their teamwork and their synergy seems to be carrying this far. It got them the match tied up at 8-8, and I think they deserve quite a lot of credit for that.
Absolutely, and it's also worth noting too. I mean, looking at the ping specs from Avonius, Diamond right now playing at around 208 ping. If I ever had to play at 208 ping and cry, like I would just cry my eyes out because I played at 116 and I wanted to like die that day. So, just saying, they're doing pretty well for that.
Yeah, on vacation in Holland, from what we heard. So hopefully he's enjoying his trip, and hopefully he can get a win even with that 200 plus ping, make that vacation a little bit sweeter.
Absolutely. And getting some information coming from the team, it looks like we might have to continue without Kled, unfortunately. Either we might have to continue or we might have to find a sub to replace him for the match. But as of right now, the timer is going for the round, and we are going to continue.
All right. Unfortunately, Kled looks like he's going to be left behind in the attacker spawn. Let's see if we get any AFK in the chat. Right now, an interesting play out of Deviant.
Oh my god. These guys want to capitalize on that player missing, and they are not giving anything up. Holy cow, but Avon is not a good go, taking 3 with them, not letting them capitalize on anything. And then taking them flawlessly. What a round.
I am genuinely confused, Ryan. I have no idea what I just witnessed. They sent 5 players split between sewers and A long into A lobby and got absolutely mowed down. Now, we've got a message from Steinman all the way from Holland saying Kled is on his way back. So we'll see how many more rounds we have Kled being dead weight in T-spawn. But from the looks of it, from that round, they might not need him.
Exactly. And here we go. Looks like these guys are deciding to actually push forward without him, possibly. Trying to take up a little bit of space towards C and mid grass, although it looks like Hi and Squigs are taking some serious room up on A. And Squigs decides to pull back, and Hi's going to stay over on A lobby by himself.
And this round, Deviant takes a much more standard approach, keeping themselves spread out on the map, holding onto the control while they can. And finally, we see Brimstone Kled starting to move again. We have a 5v5 back again, folks. Game on.
Absolutely. Looks like his ping was spiking from around 200, so could be also experiencing some internet problems in the area. Don't know how much we can expect from him now, but regardless, Simon is playing on that high ping as well, and he is performing exceptionally well.
A little bit of a fight for garage control going on. Maybe just a little bit of a bait out of Avonius as they start to work up towards B. But there's people there. See how it goes.
And if they're not careful, Hi is just going to swing right behind them and just line them up. And here we see it. Coming from behind, able to take out the lockdown. Jacob taking the first kill against Papa Duck, but they still have that flank, and they are not actively watching it for some reason. They're just letting him sit in mid with all the control. Kirby, Joshua, and Clyde each take one out. Squigs takes one out. Axum as well. And suddenly we went to a 1v3. Axum just trying to stay alive, pushing out, and wants to keep that operator online. See if he's able to.
Well, with their economy, they will be truly struggling in this next round to have any effective weapons. I think that it's a wise choice to try to save the operator. Now, the real question is whether he'll be able to actually hold on to it.
Looks like he is, but unfortunately Joshua is going to fall to the spike. And right now, DVT is looking dire straits right now. Eco is completely reset. The only one holding on to any type of weapon is Axum, and that's an operator. Now, granted, it is defense operator, so it is going to see a lot more strength played out, usually on A long or C long. But the fact of the matter remains, when the rest of your team is playing on Sheriffs and Stingers, I mean, what else can you do?
Yeah, and a great job out of Avonius adjusting to the situation. Even with High on the flank in mid-window, they were able to still hold on to the site and eventually come away with the round.
Absolutely. Looks like DVT is sensing some very quick pressure towards the C site. Looks like Fenrir was able to back up. He's going to be using that Bucky, trying to get as much as he can off this round. Free spamming shots. They know he's there, but not checking anything. Joshua is able to come out, clean him out, and Kirby takes down Squigs. High as well, man. These guys are just pushing in. They don't seem to have any coordination going along. Papa Duck swings behind, and once again, Axum is left by himself. This time in a 1v5.
Yeah, and once again, unfortunately, Deviant, they're really allowing themselves to be isolated a little bit. Axum Red again, left alone in the end with the op in hand. Most likely will try again to play for exits and to hold on to the operator going into the next round after his teammates hard saved. They'll be down 3 rounds and on the brink of defeat, but they will have a little bit more of matched guns going into the next round.
Absolutely. And I mean, that was a great pick coming off of Kirby to stop that flawless round from happening for Avonius, but still, is it going to be enough to kind of stop the bleeding on their part and potentially to bring this map back?
And Deviant really needs to find a way to effectively delay Avonius when they're hitting a site and get out with their lives, because right now, the defenders that they have on the sites that Avonius are hitting are just getting taken down. They're not available for the retake. Now, if you can delay and get away with your life, that is a win on the defender side. Wait for your teammates. Wait until you have players that you could play off of, a blind to play off of, a cyber cage to block off a line of sight, anything like that, and makes retaking sites much, much easier.
Absolutely. And we're seeing, looks like we're seeing Axum playing with that operator on C site, but unfortunately the wrong site to choose. Looks like Avonius is going to be hard pushing A, and it potentially looks like that DVT is going to call all of their players to rotate over, able to see at least 2 coming up long, and wow, looks like they're actually going to be retreating out, pulling all of those rotations over, and not capitalizing on anything, really. Playing again really passively towards mid, trying to find any picks, trying to find anybody's location. Joshua possibly, looks like Fenrir might have spotted him out, trying to get some pre-fires off, able to destroy that tripwire, but is it going to capitalize? And are they going to be able to take the site?
Shadows. And what if Yusuf from the shadows from Fenrir totally stopped the rotation in its tracks?
Looks like Kirby is able to take out Axum. Joshua was detected by Fenrir and trying to outrun those Seekers. Looks like they are able to get onto the site, and one thing I always question from a lot of teams is why they never shoot out those Seekers. Letting those Seekers run just completely gives out the rest of your team, but Joshua is able to take out Squigs in, looks like Garage, and now it's 2v5 once again in favor of Avonius. Kled taken out by High, and now it's a 4v2, somewhat possible. Sending out a flash, but unfortunately not able to get anybody. High is practically on 1 health. Joshua takes him out, but Papa Doc responds and takes out Kirby. 1v3. All of them are playing from C long, and he needs to sit his butt down on that spike and start defusing, but there are some nades there, and unfortunately not going to get much. Avonius take the round and bring us to map point.
Yeah, and at a minimum there, the one thing that you can try to do is try to bait out the Sova ult, the Hunter's Fury for the post plant out of Avonius, but because the Killjoy Molly is down there on the ground, there's no real need to bust out the Hunter's Fury while the Nanoswarm is active. Not able to get much effect, but I will say Fenrir is, with a great decision mid-round, really bought his team some time with that from the shadows onto B site. Avonius was rotating through mid-map, and he really slowed it down significantly. He got taken out in the end, and Avonius was able to take the round, but an impressive ult nonetheless.
Finished.
Wow, Squig's taking some serious aggression, able to take out
Spike
2 before
down
Kirby
A.
finally sits him down. But it looks like they are going to kind of group, figure out what they need to do in order to take this round back, because 4v3 is not where they want to be right now. Looks like we're taking some serious pressure going into garage. Papa Duck just waiting, able to take
Spike
out
down
Simon,
mid.
but it does not look like he'll be able to capitalize on anything else. Kirby takes the pick down, and they are just running full steam ahead towards the C site, trying to get anything in order to get a plant down and take this round back. 2v3, not completely impossible, but it's a tall order to ask.
Yeah, absolutely. Stuck in garage window right now. We'll see if they start to make a move out one way or the other with Owl Drone scouting onto C site. Won't be able to get all that much information onto site, but enough that they'll be able to make a decision on where they want to go from here.
Absolutely. Looks like Kirby just is not checking back
One
area.
enemy remaining.
Ouch.
Spike
Very
down.
bad decision. Takes down, and Fenrir cleans them out. Finally taking a round in favor of DVT, and it's going to bring us to 12-9.
And with their backs against the wall, Deviant are able to keep themselves alive here for at least one more round. They did a great job of kind of hiding from the Owl Drone, being able to peek out. They planted that spike. Curvy's planted that spike. Didn't even check any of the spots that the Sova drone may not have cleared. The drone was able to make its way through most of the site, but there are little angles that you need to be communicating to your teammates that you're not 100% sure if there could have been a player hiding behind, and it ends up biting them in that round.
Once again, Silverdart comes out, is able to find that high again, and man, these guys are just bolting
got your
full
trail.
force towards A. Out come the Seekers, trying to find any and all information, trying to see as many players as possible. Ultimate comes out as well, man, and down goes Squigs, and Hi is able to take one in retaliation as well, but it was cleaned up regardless. It's a 3v4, and this time it's in favor of Avonius. Right now they've got two nanostorms sitting down. Papa Duck's trying to take a flank, but unfortunately they are watching this time, making sure nobody is coming around. Axum pushing forward, getting cleaned out by Joshua, and Kirby takes the final and cleans out the map, and it's 13-9 in favor of Avonius.
And great job from them. They got really lucky at the end there. Simon wasn't actually in the radius of his Killjoy turret, and so Papa Duck able to swing around the back. Luckily, was ended up getting traded out before he could execute on the flank, and game one goes to Avonius.
Absolutely. And I have been reading a little bit of the chat going on. I know a couple of them are asking about which one of the Minecraft pros. One more time, just reminding you that it's going to be Avonius are winners of this map. They are the group of players, just an FYI.
Excellent first map that we got to witness there, Ryan. Glad everybody here was on board for it. Pretty back and forth, especially during the first half, but slowly Avonius was able to kind of make a little bit of a lead, and they just kind of kept growing it until they eventually got the map win. Now they're up 1-0 in the series, and reminder for you all, we do have Bind coming up next. That'll be an interesting matchup to say the least. That is Deviant's map choice, so they're probably feeling pretty good going into that. We'll see exactly how it shakes out once we get into it, but based on that, Avonius has got to feel a little bit better going into Deviant's map pick.
Absolutely, especially when you're looking at the side of DVT, checking some of their like KDAs and ACSs. I mean, you've got a 312 coming out of Kirby and a 270 coming out of Joshua, while the top player on DVT is only at a 231. I mean, ACS is showing that Avon is very much so suited to play this kind of style, and they are doing very well.
Right, and of course, ACS isn't a fully encompassing stat, but it can give you good information on how many engagements and how effective each player is within those engagements that they're taking. No surprise to see Reyna at the top, and with a Sky recently being buffed, Joshua being near the top as well in ACS is not a huge surprise, with the ability to pop flash, due to the different changes, due to the changes made to the Sky flashes. It's Sky's a much more dangerous agent, to say the least.
Absolutely, absolutely. Alrighty, guys. Well, that is it for map 1. As Ron was saying, we are going to be heading over to Bind for map 2. And right before we do that, we are going to be taking a quick break, just taking a quick break so the players can get some water, usually use the restroom, just kind of reset and get ready for that next map. Alrighty, guys. Well, we will see you guys in just a bit. And yeah, and upcoming Bind for map number 2.